Shouts out BigSteve.
What's up, what's up? Welcome to a special edition of the Big Brain KSW Octagon Bonanza, 2 regional shows. I'll be doing a UFC breakdown later on in the week. Maybe today, we'll see. It's been a while since I did a regional show. I had no time, getting flat out, work and whatnot. Tape and the wedding. But yeah, why not? Why not come back with a double show, and I'll bring on a sharp guest as well. Whenever he comes in, he can come in. I thought I'd start a bit earlier. Why not? I have some commitments later on. If you care about the recap of how I did last week, that was on the early teas with Dogfather. Speaking of which, how are you, sir? But yeah, Sando, thank you very much. Octagon, the best card this week. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. There is. How are you, Mr. Pierce?
Very good. How's my audio picking up?
That's fine, man. Can't be any worse than mine every week. So it works out. How you feeling about these 2 cards?
I don't have any bets right now, but not the best, if I'm being honest. Felt like I taped a lot of fights today, and maybe gonna have 1 or 2 guys. That's about it.
It's all right. That's what it's all about. Give it a couple days. Alrighty, let's get into it. Let's not waste too much time. Let's try and make some money. So we'll start with Octagon, because according to Bet365, it starts an hour early before. I'm not going to go according to Tapology, because there's no way this fight order is correct. But Bet365 seems to be on it. So they got Veronika Smolkova, Ivana Dukic as the first fight. That makes perfect sense. It's low-level rubbish fight. This Ivana chick, she's Serb. She sucks. Apparently, she has a big karate background. I listened to that on her fight, the Serbian commentary. But they gave her Marina Spasic as a debut, which is kind of rough. That chick's 5-0 now. She was meant to be in Aries. She was on that Beast FNC card, last one with all the best Balkan fighters, Stosic and whatnot. Yeah, and she just kept grappling there, and it makes sense why she grappled, because Marina had like a K1 background. Probably didn't want to stand with her. Karate didn't show much hands. Yeah, no tape. What can you do? Veronika Smolkova, gigantic favorite. Some people saying it seems like a squash. I'm not really interested. That Spasic fight was a bantamweight. Then she won a fight after that, dropped down to flyweight. This is a flyweight. Smolkova, she's good, I guess, but she's still a freaking 3-3 chick. She got submitted by Megan Morris. Bit of bum after that. Yeah, no, I get it. She should be favored. But yeah, no way in hell I'm doing anything here. Too many questions. Are we saving some time on this one, or what do you say?
Dukic chick is awful, if I'm being honest. But I guess the girl she was fighting was, I guess, what you would call decent. So I don't know. Smolkova seems like she's just gonna fuck her up. I don't know if she's gonna. Dukic is probably gonna look for takedowns, and I don't think that's gonna work. But yeah, -350. Can't say it's wrong, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it was in 2021, and now it's 2024. So surely she's better than that. Just transitioning into MMA for the first time. But yeah, just tons of speculation. Veronika seems like someone that would drop the ball as a massive favorite. So next, Andre Rashka versus Milan Detelinka. First time taping both these guys. This is the perfect Octagon shit show fight where they got two regional veterans that are basically 50-50 records, and they just all finish everyone or get finished themselves. So this I'm just trying to find a fight on Tapology because it's just completely different order. This Milan guy, 9-7. He's just kill or be killed. 100% finish rate. All his wins are in round 1. He's actually seems pretty decent. He ran through David Hoshek. He was a bum. He's one of the guys that ran through Miroslav Broz. And yeah, other than that, he's just been submitted by everyone. Nenad Avramovic is a Serb guy. He guillotined him in round 1. Dominic Hamburger, he got out of round 1, and then Hamburger KO'd him. He seems to have really good jiu-jitsu. Good arm triangle choke. Good back takes and rear nakeds. He took Dominic's back. Couldn't finish him. And yeah, seems to have some power too. But yeah, just obviously nothing out of round 1. It's quite obvious that he has no cardio out of round 1. We saw it in the Dominic fight. And this other Rashka guy, I didn't bother taping more than 2 fights of him. I tend to think he's really old, because his topology photo looks nothing like him in his fights. And yeah, I mean 6-6. Jamie Cordero knocked him out in 1 minute. That's another guy on Octagon that just runs through people. He's a bit more of a decision guy, but he was knocked out in 1 round by Samuel Kristofich. That guy has no power. Vinak choked. Yeah, this is just like, if I had under 1.5 here, you know what the deal would be here. I would lay it. No matter what it is, we'll be laying this. But yeah, I have no interest. This Milan guy is a
Whatever
slight favorite.
happened, whatever happened to the totals we used to get for Octagon? I feel like we don't see those anymore.
Dude, there was that one card, the Keita under, and the one where we faded Ivan with Ronnie, who we'll talk about later. And then I think everyone got destroyed. The Bet365 got destroyed. All the unders cashed, and then they just never brought it back again. It was rough for them.
Yeah, but I don't think I disagree here with the under. Did you pick a money line side on this fight, or
No, I mean,
who you
like I
think's
said,
gonna win?
I haven't taped more than 2 Rashka's fights, and because I just knew what kind of fight this is, like an extremely binary. Maybe if you're confident that Milan will run through him, like he's run through, most of his other wins. He's got decent wins for Octagon standards. Then you can play him, but he's $1.60, man. Like, yeah, it's just as soon as
Yeah, I
it gets
thought he was gonna
extended.
be. No, I was just gonna say I thought he was gonna be the dog, but yeah, I mean, slight favorite Milan makes sense. He's probably more dangerous, more past the not past the victory. He can finish it in more places. He's probably the more likely of the two to get a finish if it does happen. But yeah, if it gets past round one, could turn into a classic sloppy octagon fight. But yeah, I guess Milan's rightful favorite just because he's younger and he goes for it more. I think that's the best way to put it.
He'll lose, man. If he gets past round 1, he'll lose. I'm confident. I haven't looked at these decision wins for old mate. But even his round 2 again, the last win, he it was a foot injury. The guy just rolled his ankle.
So
It's
a lot
just
of it's a lot of grappling where he just gets on top and just does fuck all. But yeah, whoever gets on top, honestly, is probably gonna win. Shit show fight. We can probably move on though.
I'm going to take this Samuel Kristofich fight after, and I'll see how bad that knockout was from a pillow fisted dude. And if it's really bad, then I might just lay the chalk. Like it could be like a
Hey
30
man, he
second knock.
knocked out Carlos Famola, bro. Come on now, put some respect on the Pirates name.
Wait, what? He knocked out Vimal? Oh yeah, that was so weird, man. Just some weird shit happens in this promotion. Alrighty, Jonas Maggard, Josh Hill. So this I didn't tape this one. There's a couple of fights I didn't tape. I taped all the KSW, but a few of these missed out. But yeah, I know these guys well. We all faded Jonas with our boy Lima, the goat. Even in the UFC, he's providing the goods. And yeah, I really wanted to fade him against. I really wanted to play him against that Cartwright, absolute bum. I faded him before on Contender, and I didn't pull the trigger to pick him, and then it looked to be great value. I didn't rewatch that, but I know he just laid on him. And then yeah, this other guy, we know who Josh Hill is. Extremely low output. Um, he can beat anyone. I don't think he's. Maybe you can tell me. Do you think he's completely washed? I watched this Casimir fight in Bellator because I taped that guy, but I know, he barely beat Cas Bell, and yeah, that just tells you, barely beats Cas Bell, but then
And Cass
he'll
Bell
go through.
came in like 10 pounds heavy for that fight. You don't remember that?
Ah, no, but it's still Cas Bell, dude.
No,
Like,
I know it was a dog shit look, but yeah, I'll let you continue.
yeah, that's all good. Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Like, I haven't taped it, so a lot of money's coming in on Josh. I mean, not Josh, Maggard, Jonas. So I don't really have a strong read. I know someone said that they taped it in the Discord and it looks like a slim margins fight. So I don't know if I'll get to it. What do you say? Did you look into it?
Yeah, I mean, if they strike for 15 minutes, then I guess it could be slim margins. But it's if Maggard goes for takedowns like he did in his last fight, I honestly think he can cover this price tag. Maggard's good, man. I'm not really looking to fade him at like plus 160 or whatever it is. I mean, he's a vet, but it's I just think Maggard, if he goes for takedowns, this could look honestly value. But if he doesn't, could make it close. But it could be thin margins if I'm being honest. I mean, Jonas Maggard's not a big finisher unless he's getting the guillotine. So maybe at this price, just stay away. But I think if he grapples, he's gonna cover for sure. So maybe parlay piece if you're into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to grapple Josh Cartwright. That's the thing. But I think Josh Hill has a bit more get ups. I mean, this Custom guy, That wasn't a split though. That was a 29-28. But he was struggling to hold him down. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how
Kasimov
much
good
time.
though, so Kasimov
Yeah,
looked good his
exactly.
last fight.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. He's not. He's not. I don't think he's completely washed. So, alrighty, let's move on. Where are we now? Radic, Rusol, Marco Novak. This is the other fight I didn't tape back to back. I know Radic Rusol. I taped him extensively. He's like a kickboxer, a Muay Thai guy, and he seems to be decent. You know, a lot of people took a dog shot on him against. Took a dog shot on Novak. Not Novak, the guy that was fighting that punching bag. And I think you know who he is. The guy that gave Riley a fight in Cage Warriors. Let me just have a look. Parker. And yeah, he did all right. He's explosive. His grappling is not the worst. Like he's improving. Takedown defense is improving. But yeah, Novak. I haven't taped Novak at all, and just like wiki capping him now. He seems to be a guy that I've never really watched any of his fights. Conrad, Matt Vale. Yeah, because they're outside of Octagon. I definitely watched his Dennis Ibai fight where he got ground and pounded. But yeah, he's also a kickboxer. So yeah, no, Reed, did you take this one?
Yeah, it's I'm not gonna play it, probably not, but dog or pass for me. I mean, Rusal, you beat him with the grappling. I mean, Callum Parker got a couple takedowns on him. I mean, Rusal's a Muay Thai guy, so he has been working on his sprawl a little bit, but it's 2-0. He's fought Armin Herseg and Callum Parker, so not the best competition. Herseg was just pulling guard the whole fight. Don't know how that was a split, but neither here nor there. But yeah, Novak, he's gonna probably go for the clinch, look to get to the rear body lock, and try to ride the back for the fight. But the Elevate fight, I think that's how you say his name. Dude was like he was doing good in the grappling for like 10 minutes, and then he just fell apart in the third round. So it's like this guy's kind of flaky. And Rusal, if Rusal makes it to round 3, he has good cardio. That's probably one thing that's the best aspect for him, where if, like, Novak gets a couple takedowns and Rusal survives, then he could probably, he's like a snowball type of fighter, Rusal. If he hurts you, he's gonna keep sprawling and brawling, and he's probably gonna take Novak out if he gets tired. So, dog or pass, but I don't know. Novak's not really someone I wanna put my money on. He's kinda flaky.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. I think Radic's improving, but they feel like they outlined them accurately here. Alrighty. Piotr Varinziak versus Andres Michailidis. Finally, a high level fight. Actually, the Jonas Maggard fight was probably high level. Yeah, old mate Michailidis moving up after he dropped the ball in the final against my boy Serbian Steel Bojan. He gassed pretty bad there. I don't think he would have gassed that bad if he didn't go so hard in round one. He's a bit of a brute. Yeah, has a really good spinning back kick, spinning wheel kick for some reason. And other than that, he's a good black belt. It's hard to hold down. Obviously, he was always gassing even back in middleweight. So I don't know how much this will help, but he's fighting a natural middleweight. Piotr, we were all on him. He's another caveman. These are two cavemen, two black belts. Piotr has a judo black belt. I'm pretty sure he's a judoka. He's got good takedowns and he throws that right hand. He's very aggressive. He's very gritty. But a bit of a red flag against Kinsel. You know, I know some people took him against Kinsel and it looked to be breaking him. And then the first sign of Kinsel having an advantage, he just gave up an easy arm triangle choke. And all mate, Andres Michailidis has a good arm triangle choke as well. But ultimately, I did play him. I played Kinsel. I played Varick at plus 140, $2.40. I got like $600 on it. Not even that. I was just trying to spread my stake over my new Bet365 and some other friends' accounts. But by the time some of my friends got back to me, he moved to close to pick him now. So it feels like that, or maybe there's some value on Piotr. You know, who knows? He's the natural middleweight here. He will fight for your money. He's got some power as well. But so does Michailidis. I think Michailidis might be the more well put together fighter, but just the intangibles. Yeah, and Michailidis, you know, in Octagon has fought some good level of competition. You know, beat Alejandro Silva, uh, arm triangle Grabinski, you know, knocked out Lewis Glissman. You know, these are like high level regional dudes. So he's done all right, and then Boyan of all people beats him. I kind of missed out on that big plus money there. So annoyed at myself being a Serb and all, but yeah, now it kind of feels it's accurate. But if you can give Piotr a little bit of a favorite upside, then yeah, there's still some value in his line. What do you think?
I don't know, to be honest. I see a lot of people on Twitter, and like it's 8 versus 8 right here, my man. And I feel like Andreas is sounds stupid, but I think he's the better 8. He maybe he's the better striker by a slim margin. I mean, his striking is just as sloppy as Pewter's, but I think Andreas and them and Peter are gonna go back and forth in scrambles, and I don't know what the fuck happened his last fight, but the way like he just got reversed, and I don't even think he got hurt or anything. He just gave up. It was the weirdest shit I've seen from Piotr in his last fight. And Andreas going up the middleweight, maybe his cardio is a little better. Probably not. It's gonna be a
No.
high paced fight. So I mean, Andreas probably is gonna win the first round if I'm being honest. I mean, he took the first round off Bojan, the last fight in my opinion. I don't think the judges even gave him that round, but yeah, it's sloppy
No,
back and forth grappling exchanges. But if it's gonna be back and forth grappling and Andreas gets on top, I feel like he's more likely of the two to do some more damage and maybe find a submission here. But I mean, you got plus 140 on him, Piotr. That's fine. I personally think Andreas maybe like 60% is fine. So no
yeah.
hot take for me.
If this goes to round 3, Michailidis is going to be losing that round, and he might even get
I
knocked
mean,
out.
you could say that, but like Piotr slowed down his last fight too. So that's I mean, who fucking knows at this point? Because Seppo didn't even make him work at all that fight. And the one that he got extended.
You mean Kinsel?
No. Like, he slowed down in the Kensel fight in round 3. Like, he just gave up in the Seppo fight, which went deep as well. It's like Seppo wasn't making him work, so maybe that's why his cardio looked all right.
Yeah, but yeah, that was also like on a week's notice. He was on climbing mountains for the Chevo fight.
That was a legendary bet. I think he was like moderate plus money in that fight against Seppo too. That was great.
Yeah, I remember like stalking his Instagram to see was he training at all, and it's like literally no training. He was hiking, and then they got the call saying we'll give you a title shot in Octagon, and the man delivered. It's never going to fight a worse guy for a title shot again. Alrighty.
I would just keep an eye on the face-offs too. I'm curious how Michailidis sizes up with him.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think he's going to look. He's got the bigger reach. I don't think he's going to look under. He's a really big. He's a big dude. He's going to look fine at middleweight, but it's just. Yeah, I think the power of Rignac. I like his overhand right, and his because like you said, he's an ape. He's going to push the pace. I didn't play Boyan because Boyan is a bit of a weakling, as a softie, and I'm like, yeah, he might even get finished by Michailidis in round 1. But then when he didn't, it worked out. But yeah, old mate Piotr is not a weakling. Alrighty, let's go. Where are we up to? We're up to Peter Knies versus Radovan Uskrit. So this is the 56-year-old, I think, or the 54-year-old. I haven't done a liquid tape. This is the last fight that I haven't taped at all. Just didn't get a chance. I know these guys though. I know Uskrit. I watched some of his Octagon fights, versus this Melvin uh, versus Ole Mango. But to be honest, I don't remember anything. these dudes just. There's so many of these old regional guys in Octagon that they haven't stuck in my memory. And Peter Knieže, this guy beat Brito. I remember that fight. It was all over the place. And yeah, he's the 46-year-old. So I don't think you can even find this fight in RFA. Maybe you can let me know. But yeah, I got no leads on this one. I have to tape this one.
Yeah, they have that fight on the Lock of the Night Index, whatever you call it. But
All
this
right,
is a
yeah, I'll watch it
fucking
then
stupid fight.
after.
I don't know if this is a credit to Nice's skill set or how shit the Octagon roster is, because like, how are people giving up moments to this guy in fights? He moves like molasses. He looks like Dogfather's grandfather. So old, doesn't move well, but somehow finds a way to make fights competitive. And this Urs guy, I mean, he's a grappler himself too. They're both shit on bottom, so I feel like whoever gets takedowns here, it's probably the round. Neither of them are gonna try to. I mean, Urs might try to get up. He'll turn the back and stand up, which Nice's control is kind of shit. But like, yeah, the odds aren't even that good either. I thought Urs maybe would be the underdog just looking at their records, but minus 138 on Bet Online right now. Yeah, that I'm not laying chalk on this Urs guy because I mean, who fucking knows? The fix might even be in for this fight. Nice is he's like the coach of all the Octagon guys, isn't he?
Yeah, apparently he's also I think he's Muradov's
Yeah, that's what I
manager.
heard too. Yeah, it makes sense. So that's probably just a sign to stay the fuck away. So yeah, no opinion here.
Yeah, shit show. Alrighty. What do we got next? Lucia Zabova versus Aitana Alvarez. High level fight. We were all on the Aitana Alvarez train, especially Dog was simping over her from day one, and he's still simping. Have you talked? It's time, Dog. So if you've listening in the background, jump in. Yeah, I'll be honest. First time taping this chick that Aitana's fighting, whatever her name is. Let me just have a look. Lucia Zabova. She seems alright. You know, really good, decent striking. Seems to love arm bars. Don't really know what her base is. You know, had a bunch of Muay Thai fights. She lost these amateur fights, exhibition fights in Octagon, which is cheeky. You know, they don't count because they're amateur, but you know, it's long after her amateur career was finished. So she got wrestled by Teresa Bleda. Bleda is like one of the best wrestlers for female division. Like she's huge as well. And she got armbarred by this Eva girl in a grappling match as well, which was only just 2 months ago. But yeah, she wants to go for armbars. She loses a bit of position. Yeah, she seems to be well rounded, explosive, good knees in the clinch. Cornelia home kept trying to push her up against the cage, and she was lighting her up with knees and taking her back and going for arm bars. Yeah, just very explosive, well put together. 26. She's huge as well, 5'8". 1 more inch, and you know, or with heels, she'll definitely be taller than me. And yeah, but I'm not that overly impressed. You know, that's her best win. Cornelia home. Yeah, my friend just told me in private this Gumena girl doesn't seem too bad. I was like, nah, I'm not too impressed, man. And Aitana, you know, what pushed me over the Aitana edge last time against the bum English chick, Megan Morris. You know, at first I didn't want to play her because, you know, salty record and she's losing a lot of splits and she's young and she's got some really bad losses on her record. Obviously, she was younger. But then I see the weigh-ins and, you know, obviously she went to train at All-Stars. I see the weigh-ins. I'm like, man, this chick is huge. You know, she's built now. She used to be a straw weight and now she's moving up to flyweight and she looks way bigger than Megan Morris. And then I'm like, yeah, I just get this gut feeling that physicality-wise, she's going to light her up. And she had good clinch strikes. She's good at getting her own takedowns. She stays safe from submissions. All her losses are splits. So I think she's a well-educated fighter, and she's going to get better with age. The only issue is she's moving up to bantamweight. They're making a move up to bantamweight or 131 pounds. I think that's a little bit less than bantamweight, right? Maybe you can correct me. And yeah, it's just weird matchmaking because if Aitana wins, she gets a title shot at her weight class, flyweight. So, you know, literally her last fight before Octagon was at strawweight. Then she fought a flyweight, won easily, and now she's the same odds and fighting bantamweight against an undefeated prospect from Octagon. So, yeah, I think value-wise, I don't know how Lucia is going to cover this. You know, maybe she's improving. I can just see Alvarez doing the right things and maybe just losing another split decision like she has in the past. But yeah, that's clear dog a pass for me, and this is one where I'm going to wait for the weigh-ins. I'm not going to rush it because I could see a minus EV loss for her, but I want to see how she stacks up a bantamweight and go from there. What do you think?
It's similar thoughts to you. I mean, I think you said everything that needed to be said. Lucia, she's not bad at all. I don't think she's an awful prospect. It's just hard for me to get a read on her because I mean, both these girls recently, they're not fighting the best competition, but Lucia probably has a more well-rounded game of the two. She has the Muay Thai background and her grappling's all right. I wouldn't say it's nothing special. I mean, she is a bit of a fiend for those arm bars, so maybe she jumps arm bar and loses position. But yeah, keep an eye on the weigh-ins. I'm personally gonna wait a little bit to see how they size up because it is short notice for Atina, if I recall correctly. But yeah, dogger pass, I guess, if at these odds for sure.
I can definitely see her losing position for sure. That's what she does quite frequently. But she's good, man. She's good everywhere. She's good at standing up. It's hard to get a read on her because she just does a lot of everything. She goes for takedowns. You know, she strikes. She's well rounded. Alrighty, we got our boy Ivan Buchinger versus Lukas Rajevsky. So I'm tempted, man. I'm a little bit tempted on Rajevsky. It's probably fool's gold, right? We know Ivan is a little bit washed. He's 38 now. We're all on the Ronald Paradisa train at Pickham, wild line. That's probably what made me lose my Octagon, my Bet365 account. That account was goated. A lot of Octagon and KSW cashes there. Yeah, a little bit washed, always hittable, not the best wrestling, but he's still a dog. He's still going to fight for your money, despite that chin. And that was up a weight class. He's now moving back down. Oh, no, he's not. He's still lightweight. So he's not going back to featherweight. He's staying a lightweight. So yeah, that just tells me he's not really bothered to cut weight anymore. He's reaching the end of his career. I didn't watch this Paul Surian fight outside of Octagon. Do you know if that's available? I didn't even look at it um, on Tape Index.
I think it is, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it is. He just the dude he fought 18-2. Look, that dude did not look 18-2. He was dog shit. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm completely with you too. It's tempting. It really is because it's like you see Buchinger at minus 250, and it's like, why the fuck do you not want to fade him at these odds? I mean, even against Abu Tankara and Jacob Donald, like maybe the Donald fight not as much, but like he's in the Tankara fight, he's having moments where it's like you're pausing for a second and you're like, holy shit, no, this guy's washed. It's not the same Buki that used to be dominating the Russian circuit a while back, and this honestly might be his retirement fight. So I know Rajewski, the issue with him though is like he looked fucking washed as shit too against Kone. And if they're gonna be like a tit for tat, low output striking match, Buchinger's probably gonna do more and he's gonna walk forward. That's the one thing about the Paradisa fight. Paradisa beat his ass, but Buchinger wasn't going anywhere. He's gonna stay in your face, and I don't know. I feel like to feel comfortable playing Rajewski, you just have to accept that you're probably gonna lose a close decision. But yeah, Rajewski's not bad. He's a good technical striker. Could pick apart Buchinger, but I didn't like his last fight against Pone because Pone's kind of washed himself, and Rajewski's lucky to win that, and it could just be 29-28 Buchinger where they give him the hometown cooking decision. So just be prepared for that.
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a sub. It's not gonna be a decision. Like Rajewski loves getting submitted, man. Like dropping the ball when he's winning. But this guy, like he drops everyone, man. He almost knocked out Mads Burnell round one back in the day. Uh, who else? I just watched his Capera fight, KSW. He won that one. That was another grappler. Dropped Donovan Desme, then he gets armbarred. Dropped Barrier, then he gets rear naked choke. That was like the biggest flake I've ever seen. Knocked out our boy Sahil Siraj, which is impressive. Dropped him like 3-4 times. I don't think he dropped Varela, but and then he dropped Jason Ponette, and he just won. Just kind of let that taper off into a split decision. You know, I think he had moments in round one and two. I don't know how that was a split. I think the judges tried to rob him, but yeah, like Ivan with his chin. If Lucas doesn't knock him out, Ivan's just going to keep pushing the pace, and then Lucas he'll get flaked. So
Yeah, no,
I don't
you're
think it's going
right.
to be.
I didn't go as deep as I did for the Pone fight, but yeah, that's also the reason why I didn't play Rajewski versus Pone because the dude just finds ways to lose, and he damn near did
Yeah,
that last fight. So yeah, you're probably right. Probably looks good for 5 minutes and then falls apart down the stretch.
yeah. That's why I'm not. It's as binary as it gets. Alrighty, really high level fights. Lucien Keita, Predrag, Bogdanovich, the boy, one of our better prospects, but I'm not really overly impressed by him. But he's just, he's good at what he does. Had two step ups, lost to Brooks on short notice. A lot of people shitting on him, saying he's a hyped up prospect. But man, Brooks is still an animal. I think they could bring him back in the UFC. He could do well. One of those short notice, one of those guys that Dana White would just keep calling up for short notice fights when things, and he would just win. He's a veteran, and he just got exposed. Ending up on top, reversing Bogdanovich, showing him he's the better wrestler. And then I I felt for the freaking donation against Keita. I thought Keita would be the better jiu-jitsu guy, and that was so tilting. That was like taken down, gets his back taken, and then just gets on top with the last 2 minutes, and every single judge gives every single round to him. So it's like a 50-50 round where one guy actually has the back, but because the round ended with him on bottom guard, they will give it to him. So I actually thought maybe he might have some value here against Keita. Keita, pretty easy to take down, pretty easy to backpack. We'll talk about Ronnie next on, and Ronnie did that like 5-6 times to him, but just really hard to hold down. Explosive black dude gets up and then he just puts the beating on you. Yeah, I'm not interested. I thought this was 5 rounds, but it's 3. I'm not really interested. I think Predrag is slim margins. He's not the best finisher. He gets the back a lot, but he just sits there. And yeah, bad control. So not really feeling like a parlay piece on Keita. Like he's burned people before with a broken toe, and was very sweaty in the last fight as well. That round 3 against Sadari. So yeah, no interest in this fight. What about you?
You know, I for one wasn't like you last fight. I actually played Bogdanovich at
I remember. It's a good play.
because I saw the way, but nah, it's dogger pass, but it's like, do you really want to fade Keita with Bogdanovich? The issue with Chieda is that he has looked a bit compromised his last fight. I know he's dealing with a foot injury and he really wants to be in this tournament because of the money at the end of it for the winner. And this is like a quick turnaround, only 2 months. So I don't know. Kata's a bit sketchy for me right now with the injury, and then he just looked awful last fight. It's not even like that. Sadari looked amazing. Kata just looked off, slowed down in the third round. But yeah, if it was 5 rounds, I'd be maybe interested in Bogdanovich play because Kata does get taken down. I mean, Nico took him down, Ronnie took him down, and then Sadari finally got him down in the third round. But the issue with that is once you get him down, if you go to mount, he just explodes up, bucks off, and he always reverses opponents. So if Bogdanovich is going to go for takedowns, literally just sit in guard, sit in half guard, and just try your best to hold on for dear life. Because if it's on the feet for extended times, Bogdanovich is probably going to get hurt. But yeah, I mean, he can hang on the feet. I don't think Bogdanovich is the worst striker, but also the Will Brooks fight was he did get his ass beat in that, but it was up a weight class against someone that's honestly, like you said, UFC level. So I'm not gonna talk shit about him for that fight. But yeah, dog or pass, but maybe yeah, probably just gonna pass because I know Bet Bogdanovich gets a couple takedowns and then he just gets insta bonked randomly, like what Chieda does. Chieda's good, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But if I know we're both gonna be pissed if Bogdanovich just lays on him for like 15 minutes and we miss that dog play.
It's all right. We might have live bet on Bet365. Maybe we'll see. But no, I don't think. I think it's going to be tough for him to do that. It's different when you're fighting a jiu-jitsu guy. All right, we're halfway through. We're going to still hold another KSW, so let's try pump through it. And if you want to give your cage warriors at the end, I wouldn't mind that. So we'll speed it up from a betting perspective. Ronald Paradisa, Daniel Torres, pardon me. Yeah, I faded Torres as a massive favorite last time. And luckily, I think he's lucky that Langal messed up his knee early in the fight because he was still getting taken down and doing stupid crap. I think Torres at 30 years of age, 30, is quite washed. He's had a long career in KSW. He's the ex-champ. He's slowing down. His hands are low. He's been knocked out brutally by this Muay Thai guy. And, lost to Alejandro Torres in PFL. That's a horrible look. And yeah, fought a bunch of wash guys. I do think Paradisa should be the favorite, but I don't think I'm getting any line value here. When I retaped him again, I just reminded myself why I didn't go gigantic against Butchinger. He's got tall man defense, he's a bit low output, and he still has issues with the ground game. So I think Torres has a bit more physicality over him. He almost lost to Korkmaz because Korkmaz started bullying him a bit in round 2. I know he was a bit injured there and apparently had COVID and stuff, but yeah, I see this being as a low output affair fight. Torres still has a good chin, even though his hands are low. Torres, if he throws wild haymakers, I think he can crack Ronald on the chin. Might not drop him because his chin seems pretty good. Keita couldn't finish him, but yeah, it feels accurate. Money still keeps coming in on Ronald. I'm just gonna leave it. No interest in this one. What about you?
Yeah, I've seen some passionate Paradisa takes him, and when I taked it, honestly, dog or pass if you ask me. If the line keeps going up, maybe to like plus 170, plus 175, might have to get involved for a unit. Paradisa, yeah, like you said, there's reasons why we were a bit questionable about how much we were going to stake against Buchinger. He's a bit of an idiot, and at this price, man, I mean, I don't think Torres is bad at all. The only issue with Torres is the dude's kind of an ape. If the dude learned how to throw like a jab and actually like use his athletic gifts, maybe he would be a better fighter and not lose to Alejandro Flores in the PFL. But yeah, if Paradiser's not getting takedowns here, which he could, that's what I worry about. If I bet Torres, he gets stuck on his back because, I mean, he does, I guess, try to work up. But yeah, it's pretty obvious that if you want to beat him, the path to least resistance is to take him down. And if there's no takedowns from Paradiser, I could see him getting bonked. I mean, the tall man defense. I don't know how the fuck this guy makes lightweight, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe might play Torres, but I don't know. It's a tough fight to get a read on for me, especially at these odds.
Yep. Clear pass. Alrighty, time for some KSW. Right, let's start with Hugo Du versus Nikolai Bivol. First time taping both of these guys. I know a lot of people faded Du in his debut, but there was not much tape, and now we have that decision in his KSW debut versus a huge guy, not Venstinas. Oh yeah, it is Venstinas. I don't know if that's his brother from Bellator. Maybe you can let me know, but he looks like it because he's got the same huge physique. And yeah, that's Stinas was undefeated 4-0, and he had some adversity, and he ended up grappling him. I pretty much think Bivol's decent. They're saying he's a grappler, And every time he tries to grapple someone, he just sucks. He's super weak. And he got out grappled by this Endoi guy from Cage Warriors, who I'm not impressed by at all. And he's got a nice guillotine, but his striking is actually decent. I like his teep. I like his head kicks, his jab 1-2. He switches stances. Ultimately, and I was tempted because they're saying he's got grappling as well on top of that. But ultimately, I just thought this Hugo Dukes guy, he's just a massive physicality edge. He's stocky. I think he just maul him all around the octagon if he chooses to wrestle him and avoid the guillotine, obviously. But I think there's a bit of value on B-Ball, but yeah, I'm not rushing to donate to him, with the physicality edge here. What about you?
I'm gonna side with the French Michael Dufort, and yeah, physicality, man. I think bad, but dude jumps for guillotine too much. Don't really like what I see off his back, and if Hugo gets rocked, he's probably gonna go for takedowns, and I just think his strength is gonna be too much here. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Hugo. No, price is probably accurate, I would assume.
Yeah, I feel like it is too. Alrighty. Michel Domin versus Isaiah Ramos. So this line is flipped, right? Ramos was the favorite, now he's the dog on BetOnline. I don't know if it's still like that. Domin, he's always the B side, so it's strange to see him the favorite here. This ran through by Patrick and Rachala and this other Nicholas dude who I don't know who the hell he is, but yeah, I had to tape a lot of fights on these unknown Cage Warriors guys to kind of get a read on him. And yeah, he's basically like a weird KSW ape, but that just kind of not skilled, but he grapples a lot. So yeah, but essentially it just comes down to, can Isaiah Ramos submit him? He goes for his own takedowns. He's got some weird. I think I have this feeling like he has weird powers, weird submission powers. So can Michael Domin take him down and stay safe in his guard, or can he avoid getting rear naked choked, getting his back taken? Ramos, upset everyone when he took an extremely short notice fight against Ramazan Jambia. We haven't seen him since. Up at catch weight as well, and just pull guard and instant armbar, 47 seconds. So if he's not getting a submission, he's probably getting laid on. But his losses, right? His split loss was at welterweight, and his other split win was a catch weight, 161. But this is his natural weight class. It's 145. So people need to put some respect on this guy's name. Everyone's calling him a bum. I don't think he's that much of a bum. So I'm not rushing to play Domin. Maybe I'm just underestimating him. His best win is this Wojciech Kazienko guy, who I hate. He's not my favorite KSW dude. And he just laid on him, and he kept getting caught in buggy chokes. So yeah, I kind of feel like it's Ramos or pass, but you're going to look like an idiot if he's getting laid on for 3 rounds, not like hunting for subs. What do you say?
Ramos is full of piss and vinegar, and he's probably gonna go for it more. I mean, Domin. I actually faded Domin his last fight against the dreadhead white guy. But yeah, awful
Oh,
bet.
man.
And that guy just played guard the whole fight. But that just shows what I thought of Domin. I just think he's on the feet. Domin's kind of like, what the fuck are you doing? He just exists on the feet, and maybe he'll
True.
wrestle harder on the takedowns. Ramos might be the guy to jump guillotine, try to play guard, but I mean, I think Ramos is more dangerous wherever this fight goes, and Domin has like an uncanny ability to put himself in submission attempts. So yeah, I don't know. Something about this Ramos kid that I feel like if he wins, he's just gonna run through this guy. Could be a KO, honestly. Like I do think his striking's a bit awkward, but dude probably does have power now that he's at featherweight.
And Domin is a purple belt. I looked into it. Yeah, I just feel like if he does go long, Ramos will probably do something better than a buggy choke. I think Domin, it just gives you 15 minutes for Ramos to submit him. So we'll see, man. This one's not short notice. I just have this feeling like Ramos has the bigger upside, even though he looks like a bum on regionals. But we'll see.
I think
Jordan
he's gonna
25,
tower. I
man.
think he's
Go
gonna
on.
tower over him at the weigh-ins, if I'm being honest.
And even the bookies, they don't give a shit about Domin. Like after Rachala, plus 150 underdog against Patrick, fair enough, plus 320. Then Patrick Likus, who's a nobody, plus 140 underdog. And then he was an underdog again against that dreadlock guy that you tried fighting against. It's just no one gives a shit about him. Not like the bookies think he's crap. And the tape says he's crap too. But
He's mid as shit,
anyway,
but yeah, Ramos.
yeah,
So you don't know what you're getting with him.
yeah. Not a single play. Correct, my friend. It's look what we're dealing with. That's why I'm going to give Pierce some time to talk about Cage Warriors so we can give some value. All right, Marek Samicic, Dennis Gorniak. First time looking at Gorniak. He's a heavyweight. I really wanted to fade Marek Samicic. He's like the worst of the worst, like heavyweight guy. He just exists and wins. He got rear naked choked by Philip Stawawi. That's all you need to know. He's like a bare knuckle heavyweight guy with no cardio. It's just funny the more I think about it. Yeah, so this guy's always a fade, but they just keep giving him the bottom of the bottom barrel regional heavyweight guys. I wanted to fade him against Jamyanovs, like this Lithuanian dude, but that guy has no cardio. And same thing here. This Denis Gorniak, I think this Denis Gorniak, he used to be a light heavyweight, and he's got submission, he's got KOs, he's got really nice hands. He's extremely explosive. Reminds me of Sean Jordan. I don't know if you know Sean Jordan, probably not because you haven't watched UFC. He's the guy that landed the Sweet Chin music on Derek Lewis and knocked him out before the Reebok days, and does like the backflip, like an extremely stocky heavyweight. And yeah, it reminds me of him. And I'm like, this guy's is a beast. But my issue is the ground game, right? He's had a lot of kickboxing fights. He was in prison, lost a lot of weight for this fight, and he's just literally running through everyone in round one. So it's the same scenario with Samic's last opponent. Once he got out of round one, the guy just gave up, shot for a takedown, fell on his back, and gave up. So this Gorniak is the same. Like, I wish there was some cardio on him. He does have a decision loss in kickboxing to Kita, the guy that was ranked KSW. He didn't get finished, but he was finished in his one other loss in round 2. So I don't know, man. I'm close. This will be an easy under, but I'm close. But I'm impressed. I'm impressed with his boxing, his explosiveness, his leg kicks, and all I saw from his ground game was the one standing guillotine when he defended a takedown. So tons of questions here, but if you're into aura, this is an aura play. What do you say?
I didn't take, but if we're going off looks, man, this Gorniak guy, he's a KSW pretty boy now. And if you said he's been to prison, I didn't know that. His back take defense is going to be elite, so don't expect him to get submitted. And
No,
yeah, I didn't take this.
You should tape it. It's a short tape. Just tape him. Don't worry about Simic, the bum, and then let me know after.
Just let you know if he's got the aura.
Yeah. Oh man, he's got aura. The KSW has done like a countdown thing on him. Like they're pushing him because he's a
Yeah,
Polish
motion.
hooligan. Yeah, soccer hooligan, and he's like that's why he's in jail, no doubt.
Hey,
But
just be careful. The last hooligan you bet on didn't go so well for you.
Yeah, don't talk to me about Brian Hoy, dude. It's just like an absolute bum. He's not a hooligan. He just fought in the hooligan promotion. They just brought him in because he's a freaking MMA fighter. Anyway, super high level fight, and another play I'm close on: Marcel Kesco versus Ahmed Abdul Kadirov. It's not often that we get Ahmed Abdul Kadirov as an underdog in any promotion, right? But obviously, he was a huge favorite against Siraj. I still hate myself for passing on that one and passing on the under. I don't know what I was doing there. Just missed out on a lot of money. Siraj KO'd him, but that guy hits like a truck. Essentially, this is the battle of the two glass cannons. You know, Marcel, he's had a long career in KSW. He's a really sharp kickboxer. He's got a good checked hook. He's been knocked out a bunch, though. He was not knocked out a bunch, but he's been dropped a lot. And yeah, he's been knocked out once. Rear naked choked by Mario Zoromsky, the previous champion, but he got dropped multiple times with a straight 1-2 down a pipe. He was knocked out by Gracian, who's like another glass cannon. But yeah, he's extremely sharp. He knocked out our boy Varela. He's the last guy to finish him, and had a really close fight with Leo Breachstar. Got dropped there as well. So yeah, glass cannon, really explosive. He seems to have good takedown defense against the Barrio, Francisco Barrio fight. I actually taped this fight with Bartholomew Copera, who we'll talk about later. He's a judoka. He got taken down a bunch there. But yeah, always up. Scrambles up off his feet. Doesn't stay long on the bottom. So yeah, I think it's Ahmed. Ahmed's a beast, man. This guy extremely explosive as well. He dropped, he lost to Ludovic Klein via guillotine, but he dropped Ludovic bad with an overhand right. He's just a bit defensively porous. He was coming forward and pressuring the shit out of Siraj. Kept eating like counters on the ear, behind the ear, and eventually just got wobbled and got finished. He was out cold for ages, for like minutes. Everyone was concerned. So that's his issue. If he just shored up his defense a bit, was a bit more patient, looked to get big moments against Kesco, he can probably hurt him, probably knock him out. And then he's got the grappling upside as well. His cardio is a bit questionable. His level of competition is a bit questionable. But yeah, I think this is a clear dog or pass. The money has come in a bit on him, but I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the lines to widen. Did you look into this one?
This is my favorite fight of probably the KSW and Octagon cards, just skill wise. I didn't know who either of these guys were before I taped, but I was honestly really impressed by both. The Mase's guy, or however you say his name, Kesco, he's a good striker, man. I really like this guy's striking. He's very educated. And yeah, he knocked out Wilson Gorilla. I don't that just escaped my memory, but that was probably the guy that made some of us think Wilson Gorilla was a bit chinny.
He
And
is.
I guess we'll find out. Whoever he fights next, I don't know who he's gonna fight, but yeah, Kesco is a good fighter. He's a bit of like you said, glass cannon. I mean, if Marion's hurting you, maybe not the best sign if he's hurting you in the first and second round. Normally he breaks guys, not buzzsawing them in the first couple rounds. But yeah, this Ahmed guy is a bit of a, I guess, question mark could be the right word. He just hasn't been that active. In the Siraj fight, yeah, you got Chin, but I think Siraj is fucking really good. He just got ran through by Wanless. Shit happens, but yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. Dogger pass. Ahmed probably got more upside. I mean, he's training at UFD. We know what that gym's known for, popping needles up their ass. So maybe he's gonna come in looking in great shape, have that EPO cardio, and yeah, he has more pass here. So I don't think that he's gonna hold Mase down for the whole fight, but he can mix it in optics and probably more powerful of the two, if I'm being honest. He looks like he hits harder.
Dude, they removed this fight from Bet365, which usually happens when someone's laying the money, and then that's annoying. Guess I can't bet this fight at all. Is it still an underdog on Bet Online or what?
Yeah, it's plus 140, but I don't think there's any limits right now for it. So
Oh, right, okay. Well, I don't know what the fuck Bet365 is doing. Anyway, Carolina Ovzak versus Sandra Suka. This is an awful fight. These divisions in KSW could all be pick 'em pretty much. I think I favour Suka because she will go for takedowns a bit more. She's a bit more gritty. You know, she's actually beaten a hyped up prospect in Victoria a couple of fights ago. Burned me there on my under by like 4 seconds. I love it. And yeah, this Carolina, I don't know what the hell she's good at. You know, she also wants to grapple, but she can't want to grapple this a striking fight versus Natalia. She got absolutely mogged by Adriana Kreft. She pulls guard a lot as well. She got the shit beat out of her by this Sylvia Jovetsky. She's funny every time she's a favorite. Minus 225 favorite against Haba, lost, and then won that one. And then against that Sylvia chick, she's a minus 275. She got the crap beat out of her. And then she was an underdog, won, and then massive, decent favorite against Adriana Kreft again, minus 175, and just gets mogged in 1 minute. Pulls guard and gets submitted. So, yeah, this is just a bit of nothing. She's hot, though. She's hot, so that's good. But yeah, this fight, you know, Suka is a slight favorite. I think I'm tempting fate if I play her, but I already went too deep on this fight just to get an idea of what this Carolina chick is good at, and she just seems to be a bit of nothing. Are we saving some time on this one, or?
bro, I would not play Sukar at all. They both fucking suck, but Sukar tries harder, so we'll just side with her, man.
Isn't that enough to win the fights? Trying harder in women's MMA?
Yeah, it is until you realize you're betting on KSW low level women's MMA with you. That's hilarious. She was minus 200 the Kreft of all people.
Yeah, it's just all over the place, man. The odds, like the bookies, don't know what to line these women because they win against one regional bum, then they get ranked in the shitty division, and then they're like, oh, they should be the favorite now. And then some regional chick comes and she's way better, and it's like it's all over the place.
Yeah, like fucking
Shelter.
Sukar's last fight.
Well, yeah. Love the regional shows. What's the Dogger Pass counter at? I don't know, maybe we don't have time to go over it. Mushroom, it's the first time Mushroom's been in here. What's up, Pierce? Alrighty. So Dominic Hamburger is out of his fight. Who knows? Maybe he's really trying to force the Contender Series contract. And Radoslav Puchak is fighting a dude that fought that has no tape. He fought Batisinski, the guy that was in UFC, and Batisinski just laid on him. And I remember I couldn't find that fight when I wanted to fade Bartos. So yeah, he's an old dude. This guy's probably going to be a huge favorite. Right, he's Radoslav. He's a solid world-class kickboxer. So let's move on. Bartolomeu Copera versus David Smilovsky. Copera is the guy that I was mentioned that I taped versus Kosciuszko. Though he got a bit of grappling off. Never taped this guy before in my life. He was in the early KSW shows. he's pretty much lost to everyone good. He's lost to Lucas Rajevsky by split. That's a red flag. Barrio, red flag. Lost to Marcel Kozioska, as we mentioned. Lost to Filip Polonsky. I don't know who the hell that is, but it's back in 2018. Hasn't really been finished other than Imavov. So, seems to be have an okay chin. But ultimately, he's a judoka with not much finishing upside, which just tells me that David Smialovsky is going to KO him eventually. Smialovsky is the worst. I know you faded him with Lom Ali Eskiju. Great bet. I never expected a round one, crucifix by Eskiju. But yeah, he's got the death touch. And even though he's got a bunch of holes, he's tall man defense, he eventually just lands it. So I think he's just going to maybe get a little bit grappled, maybe a bit cage pushed by this Copero guy. And then he's just going to land something big, body kicks, whatever. And just, especially in round 3 when Copero slows down, which he usually does, I think Smialovsky is going to beat him. Maybe a parlay piece if you're brave, but we're just kind of forcing it. What do you say?
I didn't take this fight, but if this Copero guy looks to grapple, then probably stay away from the chalk. But I was gonna say, funny story. The first ever, I've never watched KSW until the Coliseum card last year, and you told me to bet on the Radic guy, and that was my first ever experience betting KSW when he got one punch by Marcelo.
How mean was that though?
Well, yeah, Martel. I've seen more Martello fights. Incredibly meme. I think who was the other one we bet on? Was it Soldayev versus
No,
Rakowski?
yeah, I got rinsed. I got rinsed that day. I lost every
Yeah,
bet.
that was a great.
Other than Leo Bridger winning a split decision at Pick'em over the Marcel guy that we just talked
That
about.
was a great introduction to KSW that day, wasn't it? And then what a disaster of a card. Even the main event fell through like hours before.
It's all right. I made like all my money back that same day on UFC. That was good. Otherwise, it would have been tilting.
Yeah, but I'll save you time for the next one as well. Didn't take it too much in depth. I just watched the first fight, so we're gonna go with the favorite, Maria Silva, because she won the last one.
Yeah, I agree. Look, we finished off with 2 rematches. She definitely could win this fight or look value because Silva can be taken down. In the first fight, Wozniak took her down, took her back even, and she just loves that guillotine. And this chick's huge, man, but she's just too aggressive for me. Too aggressive, and she has her own bad takedown defense herself. Just getting taken down and top timed by Ivana Petrovic is a red flag. Ivana doesn't have good takedowns at all or control. So yeah, if Maria Silva wants to do that herself, she can probably get a lot of top time against Evelina. But yeah, I'm not rushing to minus 200. I was really close to playing Bekus against Silva, and that was a competitive fight, man. That was back and forth, and Bekus didn't give up any bottom time. She's a really solid physical chick. That's why I like her. She's a great dog to play. And yeah, Maria just still won by getting takedowns in round 3, just kind of outstriking her. She's very very well rounded. So yeah, it's a dog of pass, I guess, but I'm not really tempted. She's too aggressive for her own good. Alrighty, main event. Another rematch. Pavel Pavlac, Damian Yankovsky. All you have to do is kind of take their first fight, which was extremely competitive. I thought that had potential to be a split. Damian won the third. This Pavel Pavlac guy fights like a mixture of Sean Strickland and Elias Doro. Rest in peace, Elias. Just skirts on it, runs away pretty much the whole fight and just teeps you to the gut. And just a lot of kicking volume like a chick. Zero power. Probably the one man in the history that couldn't finish Materla. Washed Materla that everyone can finish. He had 5 rounds to do it and he couldn't finish Materla. So that he deserves a special place in the Hall of Fame for that. And yeah, he was just got good volume and a lot of kicking volume and good durability, decent cardio. And somehow he's made it, to the title shot to become the champ with really close fights, against Yankovsky and split decision to Kissick and weird stoppage against Breeze. And now that he's made it, now I think he's a really good 5-round fighter. He was a really competitive fight with Thomas Romanowski, Polish Tyson. And then he just broke him with the ground game. And yeah, I think this is going to be a competitive fight. Damian did really well in round 3 against him when he started wrestling. He landed a couple of eye-catching shots. I think this is going to be damage versus volume and wrestling. So since then, I think he's improving. He beat Kisek as well by unanimous. He mauled Thomas Romanowski, the same guy, in rounds 2 and 3 after getting dropped. He's got some chin issues, but I don't think that's going to be the issue here. Yeah, I think he's going to hit harder. He might wrestle. Pavlac is going to have a lot more kicking volume. And I don't know how this is going to look in 5 rounds. I don't know what Damien's fight cardio is like in 5 rounds, but yeah, maybe light bet this one. Yeah, I think it's going to be competitive. I think it's going to be competitive. $1.44. I don't think Pavlac is going to be separating at all for maybe 3, maybe 4 rounds, and then it just depends on the cardio. It's hard to get a read here, but if you're brave enough, this should be like maybe Pavlac 60% at best, just because of the 5 round aspect. But if this was a 30 rounder, this would probably be a full unit bet for me for Damien, because I think he's improved since their first fight, and he almost won that one. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I hate watching Pavlac fights because dude kind of he fights like a pussy, bro. With all due respect, just runs away and just like you said, jab and teach. So I mean,
You
I
just
don't
need to
agree
watch
with
one,
the
just one
yeah,
fight.
literally. You've seen one, you've seen them all. But I don't necessarily agree with that. I thought the first fight between them should have been a split. I thought Powell won 2-1. And whenever he did get taken down, he did work up pretty well. That's one thing I noticed. Pollack seems like he has good jujitsu, good understanding of how to get up. So I don't really think Damian's gonna hold him down like he did in his last fight against was it Romanowski that he got a lot of top time?
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it
that
was
guy's got a
for
background. Yeah.
Damian. Yeah, yeah, Damian's a good wrestler, but yeah, I mean, plus 230, I think it is on Bet Online right now. I mean, I don't mind a shot on that at all, but it's gonna be very frustrating when down the stretch Powell just pulls away by being a fucking weasel. I know he's not gonna win. Like I think Powell probably wins a competitive fight at a large clip, especially considering it's 5 rounds. But yeah, all the values on Damian if you got the balls to play him. But I don't think I'm personally gonna do it. But if there was a dog or two on this card, he'd be at the top of the list that I'm considering.
100%. I might come around to it. It's just I have to go deeper. But yeah, I like what I see from Damien. You know, he's coming on in rounds 2 and 3, so maybe the cardio is good. But yeah, all right, that's where we're at, man. A lot of fights. Do you want to talk a bit about Cage Warriors? We don't have much time, but you can give us your quick breakdowns. I haven't taped a lick.
Oh, it's okay. Do you mind pulling up the card real quick? I'll do like really quick. Considering I have no bets on the two cards we just talked about, and Cage Warriors is like the only promotion I have bets on because they
Yeah, why
don't.
not?
They still,
Let's give the viewers something. You know, make it worth listening, other than the breakdowns. But this card has lost so many fights, and it still has 19 fights somehow. This is wild.
and you're
I'm
gonna
going
actually
to.
20. It's gonna be 20 fights because of the little one night tournament that they're doing on Saturday.
Well, that's included, isn't it? That's already on Tapology. Oh, right, because there's going to be 2 extra fights. Jesus. It's annoying when
Yeah.
I take my two favorite promotions. That's where all the money's at. And then this week, my two favorite promotions, I got no bets on. Now I have to freaking grind with
Hey,
2 days
to be
to go
fair,
on Cage Warriors.
Warriors has 1K limits on Bet Online at the moment right now, so you better get to the grind and no Diddy.
All right, yeah, get us started, mate. Get us started. I don't know where you want to
Um,
start. But I'm gonna take a quick whiz, and I'll be back.
No, you're good. Yeah, one second. Let me just pull up the card because I do not know where I want to start. Okay, we'll start with. I'll just go run through all the fights. So we got Nicholas LeBron. They gave him a can. Easy setup. Look for the under. James Webb versus Pigansky. Didn't look into that. Sorry. Mazzio versus Vanderelli Jr. Set up fight for Mazzio. I mean, they're trying to find him hands because he struggles with some of the lower tier light heavyweights and middleweights in this circuit. So set up fight for him to give him an old Brazilian. Thomas Paul versus Malata Hadi. Minus 300 a Hadi. Probably hits takedowns at a high clip. He's a smart fighter. Look for maybe a sneaky over bet there. Parlay piece potentially just because of the grappling upside. Fuchenik minus 800. Parlayable, Jimmy Quinn, minus 800 parlayable. I mean, these two are not losing. They're fighting cans. Look for the unders there. Darcy, Bergstorm, didn't look into that. Grozov, Brunnin, tempting dogger pass for sure. Brunnen's a bit fraudulent. Grozov trains with Patty Houlihan, that's his coach, and I don't think he's a bad grappler at all. Brunnin still got question marks on him, but yeah, dogger pass, not too passionate in Grozov because he is a grappler himself. And then we go into the prize fighter fights. So we got the prize fighter fights are going to be 2 minute rounds, 2 5 minute rounds, and then there's an overtime round if needed for the prize fighter fights because it is a one night tournament. And Giordano versus Martignoni. I played some Giordano at an earlier number, like plus 240. It's like it's came back a lot now, plus 160. I think that's still clear dog or pass. I mean, Martignoni if he's not wrestling and he's striking with Giordano, it's gonna be a thin margin fight, and if it goes in the round 3, could be interesting. I think Martignoni maybe has a slight cardio edge there, but yeah, I think Giordano's getting better, so if he can keep it on the feet, it's gonna be really close. Loof versus Aiden Steven. I think Aiden Stevens a fucking bum. If he's not getting back takes, he's probably fucked here. Loof he does get taken down, but Loof works up. I mean, he's at least gonna try to fucking win this fight and not pull guard when all goes wrong. Maybe Steven sneaks it back for 2 rounds, but I line Loof about like 70% here. And if it goes in the round 3, in case it's tied, he's probably gonna knock him out. And then Quadri and Maya played early number on Maya. Line's kind of gone now. I think it's accurate. I mean, it's hard not to make Maya 70-75% after seeing the first fight, and the fact that it could potentially be 2 rounds favors Maya because Maya does slow down in the third, but Quadrian could be getting better, but based off the first fight, Maya should probably do the same thing here. I know that's kind of stupid to say. Not every fight's the same, but I'm going with that. Barando versus Elliott, great fight. Barando seems like he's the better martial artist. Elliott maybe has a top time path, but I just don't like what I see from Elliott if he's not getting takedowns. Little May didn't look into that. Johnny Scott versus Jer Harris. Jer Harris is a fucking bum. Giovanni Scott, I'm sad I missed the number on that. He's good, really good fighter, and Jer Harris doesn't get a meme sub. Giovanni Scott's gonna mess him up. Mush Asalani versus Michaelis. Michaelis is a fraud. I'm tempted on Mush. Could get takedowns here. Michaelis has horrible grappling. Maybe sneaky over 1.5. I think that's a good look. And then probably my favorite bet. I know it's a bit chalky, but Nick Bagley versus Ryan Shelley. This is the shittier of the Shelleys. And I think Nick Bagley, even at minus 210 or 220, what he is right now, I think that's good chalk. He's too physical for Shelley here. I think he's gonna hit takedowns, and even if it's on the feet, Shelley's a pussy. He's gonna get hurt by some stupid shit. I mean, look, Jordy Box ran through this guy, man. Jordy Box is fucking ass. And Bagley, they're sending him up here to GP Great Britain top team guy. They're looking to get him into the featherweight prize fighter tournament they're doing in a couple months. And Riri Hudson, Terreo, the girl none of us played her last fight against that fat Irish bitch. And Riri Hudson's a hyped up Riri Hudson's a hyped up prospect. So didn't look too far into that, but VB MMA, he's got a big bet on Riri Hudson money line. So take that as you wish.
What's a
And
big
Craig
bet?
Edwards, I don't know, 5. I think it's like 5 units. That's what Dogfather was telling me. So
Oh shit!
it's a big boy bet
Mortgage,
for my man.
mortgage bet.
And then Craig Edwards, Gavinelli. Didn't look into that fight. They just posted odds for that. I think it's a pick 'em. Gavinelli's A side, so maybe they're trying to set him up. No clue who Craig Edwards is. And then the last fight. I hope this is not the main event. Aronov versus Jamie Richardson. It's they got Richardson minus 250 or some shit right now. It's kind of funny because that dude is ass. And Aronov, I know you want to talk about the under 1.5 in his last fight. You
Oh man, don't get me started on Brown Aronov under 1.5. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, Aronov's gonna fight for your money, man, and Jamie Richardson's kind of a bot, so maybe he gets knocked out in the first round. But yeah, all at current odds, the only thing I see value on is Nick Bagley, and honestly, Loof might have some value in Giordano. So keep an eye on that, and probably gonna get totals tomorrow. So I think there's a couple of nice unders we're gonna get here.
Do we have totals, or you think we'll get them
Not yet.
tomorrow?
It's a Saturday card, and I mean I don't see why we wouldn't get totals. We always get Cage Warriors totals, but that's a fucking shit ton. 20 fights of totals. There's gonna be a couple fucked up unders that we're gonna smash.
I don't think we're gonna get more than $250 because we've been doing that. We've been getting that recently, and I know it's a Saturday, but they should have already released them, and then give it a couple of days to increase limits. So I'm a bit nervous with the shitty limits on Octagon and KSW. It's like who knows what Dave's gonna do this week.
Yeah, at least the money line limits are there, so maybe there's a couple of spots. But yeah, if I were you, I would look into the 3 fights I mentioned like a minute ago. Maybe
All right,
Mushafalani for the culture. But yeah, that's
I'll
it
do.
for me. I'm gonna stop yapping.
I'll look all of them in like whatever I can. What's the reader on Scott? I think he just said Harris is a bum, and he is a bum. This yeah, Scott is just a well-rounded fighter,
He's
man.
good, bro. He's a very good fighter. I will say, minus 265. His margins are a little too thin where I maybe don't want to parlay him, but yeah, Jer Harris is a bum. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's one of those patient guys.
We
All
played
right,
Ryan Hewitt against him, bro. That's all you need to know.
Pepe. Pepe gave me an idea. He said, if you're gonna pass on every single fight, why don't you give the people some parlay? So I'm gonna give. I'm already looking at KSW. I might parlay Hugo. I might parlay Smialovsky. Why not? And man, Maria Silva was minus 200. Now she's $1.35. Wow. And that's about it. Those two, and then Octagon. Octagon. It's a bit rough on Octagon, to be honest. This is so low level. I'll
You
have to
want to
take
parlay
the.
loose NK to money line
Well, if it was going to be anything, it'd probably be that and Ronald, to be honest, because it's like
or
the
Maggard,
two.
Maggard?
It's the two evils that I know. You know, like I know Keita's path is to lose a split by getting his back taken, but he's probably going to reverse. Yeah, that's probably it, man. And I said I was going to focus on UFC, but I've neglected it this week. But I think I'm going to have a lot of bets on UFC. But we'll talk about it in a day or so. So thanks, man. Thanks for popping in, breaking down the regionals. You know, it's tough, really, really low level this week. But I think people can make do with our breakdowns. I'll definitely be locking stuff in. It's just early days. We've got a whole full day and weigh-ins and things like that. So subscribe to follow PS Big Bird on Twitter and follow me, and then you'll get some bets from us. Anything to add, my friend?
Nothing to add. Wesley Maya's coming for Alexander Lou's head on Saturday night. So when he beats him in the finals for the 50K, don't say I didn't tell you so. But let's try to
Do you
get
think?
if you guys can I say something? Can we try to I'm gonna try to reach out to him, but let's try to see if Dave Mason can add the final odds for the day of. Hopefully they do that. I would love to bet on the finale.
Dude, I was just going to ask you, do you think we'll get that as soon as the fight's over? We got it for KSW, didn't we? When they had that tournament, the light heavyweight tournament?
Oh my God. I can't remember, man. I turned that shit off. I didn't watch that card, but I would
We
assume
did.
we wouldn't. It's gonna be like 4 or 5 hours in between.
No, we did. When it was Smialov, Damien and that beast from ACA, the old washman, Polish guy. They ended up putting him out, but I didn't end up watching the card, so it's like, I don't know how the first fights went, so I just passed. We should get it. If they did it for KSW, surely Cage Warriors. It's the one card that's going to get totals, and it's the one card that has limits. So Dave loves
And
his
it's
Cage Warriors.
the finale's 3 rounds too. So just to add that as a little tidbit.
You know what? At least it's high level. We might not have bets, but it's a high level regional, and it's all on the same day as the UFC. It's kind of full on, to be honest. I don't know why they couldn't spread it out. But yeah, we've got some good fights, man. Cage Warriors for once has good fights, other than the main event, which is just looking putrid at the moment. I'm off the gut. I'm gonna have to ride with him. Mate. He's could have been the Cage Warriors champ. You never know. All right, I got things to do, my friend. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. Leave comments. Leave your favorite original comments. Good for the algo, and I'm curious what you boys like. All right, peace out. See you,
Oh,
dog.
man, pleasure talking.